week 2 and week 3 and week 4, and then we're definitely further ahead. So the 411 is your way to track where you're at in progress, so you know where you're at all times. That's why it's always out in front of you. It's always moving. It's definitely a living target.
All right, see you later.
Bye. You can laugh, Laura. It's okay. Awesome. Well, how's your weekend? Where are we at on some stuff?
I just told Robin I got 2 potential buyers from my open house yesterday. One of them seems really promising. The second one is kind of like on edge. I don't know if on edge is the right word, but he's more hesitant. Yeah, he has a lease that ends, so he needs to figure out something. So
yeah, you want to make sure that you just kind of ease them into it.
Yeah.
So when people are super apprehensive about stuff, I like to just take away their fears and talk about it. What scares you? Mm-hmm. What's worrisome? What's bothersome? And then you can just kind of ease them through it. I love the term, don't worry. Don't worry, I got this. Don't worry, I'll walk you through it. Don't worry, we'll get there.
All right. And that's kind of where I'm at with that listing that I'm working on. They put off signing the paperwork for a couple more days because they're PCSing to Japan. So right now their biggest fear is they don't want to be homeless for like a month or like that weird in-between period before they can actually get a house in Japan. So they're like, oh, I don't want to sign papers and stuff. But how easy is it to change like a listing date? Like I know we're going to do exempt delay. How easy is it to change that date on the exempt delay? If like they need to sell it before or after, like later.
So if it's before, it's really easy. At the bottom of that form, you can just sign, which will terminate that exempt delay. You can go live that day. If it's later, then just fill out a new exempt delay.
Oh, okay. All right, then I'll let them know. Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. We got this.
Okay.
See how it's all in how you say it, the confidence in your ability, and just don't worry. We got this.
Okay. And then I have another question to do with referrals. So I found some agents, because I have 2 referrals that I'm going to send out, and we don't have brokerages in those areas. What form do I use to send them those referrals? And then who do I send that to? Do I send that to the agent that's going to be taking care of it, or do I send it to their broker?
Both. Well, you send it to the agent. It's on the agent to get it signed by the broker.
Okay. And then what form do I use and where can I get that? Is that going to be in Transaction Desk or somewhere that I can get access to that?
Yeah, it's the agent referral agreement, brokerage referral agreement. All right, what do you guys want to talk about? You want some lead gen stuff today? This is kind of your group session, so we need to talk about some things to help you grow.
We did buyer consultations last week. I don't know if people wanted to do the listing side of it.
Sure. Yeah. Documents. All right. Who went through and downloaded, updated, and changed the buyer consultation you had in command like we talked about?
I did the listing. I didn't do the buyer yet.
Okay. Did you find it to be easy?
Yes.
Good deal.
It was just time consuming trying to swap the pictures out and stuff like that.
It is, unfortunately. Okay. Laura, what do you guys use for your listing presentation?
You know what? We don't really do like a presentation. We signed a listing agreement on Saturday, but they already knew that they wanted to go with us. So we just kind of just walked through the house, went through everything, talked over our plans, and went over the contracts. So I didn't have to like land the listing kind of thing. And then the house, you know, that lady who kind of cold called me to find out whether or not she wanted to list or rent her house out.
Right.
So I met with her and I gave her all the information that she needed, how much she wanted. I gave her my opinion and gave her some estimated closing costs, and she decided to list. And so we listed, we went live on Friday, and it's under contract as of yesterday.
That girl, proud of you. And that all comes from just being prepared and rocking through it.
Right. And just, you know, and coming from a place of contribution. So they were coming in from out of town, and I'm like, well, you guys need to get that dusted off, and, you know, whether you decide to list it or rent it. And I'm like, you know, you can borrow a ladder, you know, and you can borrow this stuff. And I don't know, I guess she doesn't know me from anybody, but she trusted me enough. I was coming from a place of contribution and was honest, and there you go. So I will admit we don't do a formal presentation unless it's like a FSBO, but Jason does those.
That's good. Well, we're gonna start with the one that's in command. Would you guys like me to start back at the early navigation, or just jump right into the listing packet thing? Don't talk all.
Probably just jump right into it.
Jump right in.
All right, perfect. So I'm gonna share my screen. You guys should be able to see now the listing presentation template. It's super. We're going over the generic one right now. I just want you guys to make sure that when you do download your own, you go page by page and customize it, and then download it so that your very own. You will know the internals of these documents a whole lot better than that. When you're doing a listing presentation with somebody, it's always advised that you get this information over to them before you ever sit down with them. If you have an appointment set up for Monday, you should have sent this to them on Friday. If you have a listing appointment tomorrow, then you send it out by the end of your day today. Make sure they have it beforehand so you guys have some review. If you haven't had the chance to do so, you can go through it. All right, Mr. and Mrs. Scheller, would you like to walk me around the house first? Or would you like to get the paperwork done right now? Because you've kind of already given them all the information, so they might just jump right into it. So for this situation, we're going to act like we're going to sit them down and go over the listing presentation here in the office. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Nicole,
Yes.
why don't you be my seller?
Okay.
All right, Miss Nicole, thank you so much for meeting. Words are tough. Thank you so much for taking some time and meeting me here at the office to go over the sale of your house. I really appreciate the opportunity to earn your business, and I'm excited and honored to be a part of that journey. Are you ready to get started?
Yes, please.
All right, before I continue, do you have any questions for me?
About how long is it going to take to sell my house?
Well, typically in the marketplace on the price point you're looking at, and I'll pull up the map and show her days on market, all the stats from MLS, it's 32 days. Right now, because it's such a good market and your price point, we should expect to get some activity quickly. And I'm even going to market your house before we even go live to my market here at Keller Williams and see if I can't get some interested buyers. And I may maybe even sell your house before we go live on the market. Don't worry, I'm not going to charge you more for that.
Okay.
Laughter. So right here, we kind of go over the instructions, and this is just the first part is a letter just saying, thank you so much for the opportunity to earn your business. I'm excited to be part of your journey. This is who I am in the business. This is what I've done. These are my accolades. I work with a team of already 50 agents, and we are able to help you out. And we actively search for buyers for the listings that we do support. Now, this is a listing presentation that I have prepared for you, Maria and Chris Roberts here. Thank you. Appreciate that, Ms. Roberts. And just as you go through it, you can turn this into a slideshow, which you just kind of click through. I would definitely recommend having a picture of their house. So this is your house, your guide, and your custom marketing plan for me representing your home. First off, your house here on Heather Lane is a fantastic property. Your home is 10% larger than the average homes being sold in Burton Hills. Your home has the average number of bedrooms compared to the average property here in the area. And your home has one more bathroom than the average here in the area, which is going to give it the most chance possible to stand up. Is this accurate when you see it was last sold for $310,000? Is that what you guys paid for it?
Yeah, that looks accurate to me.
Okay, perfect. I just want to put that on there so you guys can understand where the market has been. In 10 years, we're seeing a little bit of influx, but we've gone flat because of that big bellow when the prices drop. So based on the information, the market condition, your house, your property, your home should command a slightly higher than average for the area because of its condition, the additional bathroom, and its location next to that park. Any questions?
How much, if I installed a new garage door and a new water heater, is that going to make a difference on how much my house is going to cost?
Well, those might actually improve the view of the house to a potential buyer that may see default in that. Not going to give you a dollar increase in the sales price. This price is based upon the house being in good condition. If you think you have some items of disrepair, let's go out to the property and check those out in person, and I can give you a little bit more consultation and help you guide that process. I don't want you spending money you don't have to spend.
Okay.
So this is what's happening on in your neighborhood. You can see right now the average list price is $891,000, with the average sold price is $718,000. That means that they've been on the market for some time at that price point, and what they're actually selling for is much less. Currently, there's 9 active listings in your neighborhood. 12 of those under contract, so an additional 12 under contract, pending, meaning that there's a buyer under contract that is in the process of selling. They're on average 42 days on market in this neighborhood, with an average list price of 452 square feet, $452 a square foot. And it kind of goes over a little bit of the information that's very unique to the neighborhood. Barton Hills is a great, extremely desired neighborhood, attractive to young professionals. And because your house does stand a little bit bigger than the app, I think we can ask a little bit more than average. Keeping in mind that the 42 days average on market, as well as the sales price being less than what we listed it for, we want to make sure that we have a good, solid game plan moving forward. So these are the houses in your neighborhood that have sold that are very comparable to yours. This is where we base the comparable value. This is what they call a comp, or a market comparative market analysis. You'll hear that term CMA. This is the house that's 2 doors down from yours. This is the one that's on the next street over. And these 2 houses are at the edge of the neighborhood. Those are the ones that just sold a couple of weeks ago that are a little bit smaller than yours. So it kind of gives us a value range of where we're going to be at. Let's start talking about you. I want to make sure that we visualize your dream scenario when selling your house. What is the one thing that has to happen to make this dream scenario come true?
That I make enough money for me to be able to pay for a better house later on.
Okay. Is that what we're going to do with the money, the proceeds of the sale of this house is going to buy something bigger?
Yes.
Fantastic. And what neighborhood do you want to move into now?
Right now, we're going to be moving out of country, but I'm going to be making a purchase whenever we get back over to the United States.
Oh, fantastic. And how can I make that happen for you?
To just make it simple and easy so we can get it taken care of quickly and get started in our move to the next place.
So it sounds like to me like time is of the essence.
Yeah.
When are you guys planning on leaving the country?
By the end of, or sometime in August.
Okay, fantastic. If we could just add one more thing to make this process even better, what would it be?
Just keep me informed so that I know exactly what's happening and when.
Understood. So the process and the how we're going to go through, this is a step-by-step we're going to go through. Right now, I believe we're step 1 is the initial meeting. We're going to do a walkthrough later on this week when your husband has time to meet me at the house. We're going to sign the listing agreement. It just allows me to prepare all the documentation, order a sign, and get the marketing material pulled together for you. I'm going to prepare your property for sale. I'm going to help you go through that. And that's going to be cleaning up the house, making sure we arrange the furniture and stage it correctly so it's going to be the most visually appealing to our potential buyers. Once we're within that 21-day range of going on the market, we're going to change our exempt delayed listing, which I'm going to go over with you, and do a coming soon listing so we can pre-market through our coming soon system now. We're going to make sure we establish the most competitive price, and that's based on what we've already gone over with the comparables that we've looked at. We're going to officially list your property once that date comes that we've agreed upon. Sign in the yard, lockbox on the house, all the rules and regulations to showing your house are going to be set up, and that's based on your guys' needs. So if you need showings only between a certain number of hours, or you want an hour or 2 heads up, please let me know, and we'll make sure that we put that in the rules for showing your home. I'm also going to send out a marketing campaign for Just Listed in your neighborhood. We're going to target all the homes in the area. Make sure that there's a new home in the market. Maybe we can attract some buyers that are currently renting in your space that want to be homeowners in this neighborhood. We're going to start holding open houses. Hopefully we can do one the very first weekend we're open. I do like to go live on our listings on Thursday and have an open house that very first weekend. Do you see a problem with that?
I don't mind having the open house on the first weekend, but I genuinely probably would like to have a virtual open house at some point so that I don't have so many people coming in and out.
You're right. I can even make that first one a virtual open house for you. We can do a complete walkthrough video. It's one of the things that I'm now offering to my clients is full 3D staging as well as the virtual walkthroughs, so that we're not having people in your house, especially in this pandemic time we're going through.
Okay, thank you.
And once we start showing houses, we'll actually ask the agents to do the same thing, that they follow all the CDC guidelines. I will buy some booties and I'll buy some gloves and some sanitizing wipes so that when people do show the house that they can please clean up after themselves, as well as talking with the agents and ensuring that they are following our desires as well. Next, once we actually get an offer on your house, I will negotiate it for you. I will negotiate the highest and best deal I can because I'm always looking out for your guys' best financial interest. Don't worry about this, guys. Like I said, it's a very boilerplate. We don't have attorneys in these, so you need to go through and clear these up based on what you're going to do. But negotiating the contract is one of the most scary things for a seller, and they want you to say that you're going to fight for their best interests. I'm going to fight for your best financial interests is what they want you to, what they want to hear. So let's make sure that you put that into your scripts. All right, guys, once we're under contract, we're finally going to go down the process, and that's going to give the buyers time to do their inspections, and I'm going to help them get those scheduled for you based on what works for you. They're going to bring in a roof inspector, a pest inspector, a house inspector, whatever else inspectors they want to hire to come in and do a review on your home. And don't worry, I will point out anything that I see right away that's going to be a concern later on, and we need to address that now. Once we're through that, I'll help negotiate any issues that come up to make sure that you guys are having the easiest, most streamlined process possible. I'm going to oversee the appraisal, making sure when the appraiser contacts me that I give him all the market research that I've done so that they can make the best judgment on the value of your home and get you the most money for the sale. I will help coordinate and prepare for further inspections in the event that something pops up and they want to do something out there. So don't worry, you don't have to do much. I will take care of everything. Then we get through the inspection periods, we do all the repairs, if any, that are requested, and we get to what we call final walkthrough. And that's going to happen typically 3 days before our closing date, when the buyers are going to walk through the house a last time to make sure that there's nothing outstanding that we've already negotiated in, or nothing has changed since when they first came through. And then we go to closing day. And once we go to closing day, you're going to come in and sign all your documents. Once those are signed, all the money gets populated from the bank or the cash deal, and then it's sent off to the county to record. And the moment that it records is when the deal is legally transferred and you're no longer a homeowner. What questions can I help answer for you?
During this process, at what point do we need to be moved out of the house?
You have up until the moment it records to be out of the house. And once that happens, we need to be completely clean. And that means broom swept, all the debris out of the house, all the trash, debris, anything of personal property needs to be removed from the property before recording. And if it's left there after recording, the new buyers can actually charge us back the cost of having it removed.
Oh, okay.
And based on what you told me about the house, it's not that bad, so we shouldn't have an issue getting it cleaned up. So another aspect we're going to do on top of the advanced marketing campaign that we're going to go over is I'm actually setting up the app. So I'm going to want you guys to download the app here. This will give you a reminder of what's going to happen each stage and go over a little bit more detail of what each process we're going through is going to need from you, what to expect, and what comes next. So if at 3 o'clock in the morning you're curious of what's going to happen next, you can pull this out. It's like having me there with you to answer questions without ever having to pick up and dial my phone number.
Oh, that's great.
So let's go with your marketing plan. Our digital marketing is going to actually drive results. 95% of our buyers are looking at line at some point, so we want to make sure we have a great home search. We master the digital space. Being a Keller Williams agent, we do find your buyer faster. So talking about finding your buyer, we're going to do a lot of stuff on the internet. As a real estate agent, I just coordinate a lot of things for you so you don't have to. As your real estate consultant, I'm going to do everything I can to show you how to get the most money out of selling your house. We're going to put a sign in the yard, and that's your typical place marker most people see. We're going to do open houses, which is going to grab in a lot of traffic. We're going to talk to friends, families, realtors, relatives and neighbors to let them know the house is on the market. And what I need from you is anything that I share on social media that you do the same to your sphere, which is just going to open up our exposure, and we're going to help build that database faster. The biggest thing is we're going to target the internet. We're going to run campaigns and ads online through our multiple points, over 400 websites that we use, so that you can have the most exposure possible and get the fastest targeting to your new buyer. We use the best-in-class promotional assets, and that's all the print campaigns. This is not just your open house flyers. This is the just sold listings when it comes out, the for sale items, the price reductions, if anything. We actually send a postcard out, all those, targeting different areas that have the highest likelihood of finding a buyer for your house. On top of print media, we do a lot of online stuff. Property brochures, just listed flyers, the postcards, these all go out at different timeframes. You can actually see the different time frames that we put them out to. We do Facebook and Instagram posts, we do Facebook Lives, Instagram stories, and then paid ads through social media, usually gaining in the thousands of impressions so that more and more people are seeing your house and driving traffic to it. Our strategic plan for selling your house is pretty comprehensive. Our Coming Soon campaign concludes a walkthrough and needs analysis. We do professional photography and videography, as well as the 3D walkthroughs, which is called Matterport, which is pretty cool, as it'll even do a full print of your house so you can see a layout, which people love. I'll do professional yard signage, so it's going to look good. It's going to be installed right. It's not going to look like some dude just threw it in there. We're going to do a Coming Soon email blast to my database here in the company to make sure that we're marketing it to all the Keller Williams agents. We'll do a Coming Soon media touch on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to my internal brokerage. And then once we market to the outside public, we have to go live within 24 hours. Once we'll do the Just Listed campaign, runs along the same side. We're going to list it on KWLS, which is going to put our listing in front of 182,000 agents worldwide. Because just like you guys are moving out of country, someone else is moving here, and we might be able to pick up that buyer as well. So along with the professional signage and the takeaway flyers, we put in there if people want to stop by your house and grab a flyer. So don't be alarmed if someone's parked out front of your house real quick. They're just grabbing a flyer, and they probably move on. The Just Listed email blast to the database is, again, going out to over 40,000 people in my database with my team and agents finding buyers for you. We're going to build a custom landing page and funnel campaign promoting your open house, promoting any changes, and promoting the property itself to every website. And that's just going to be all the big ones. We're going to do the social media blitz, which is going to be on all social media platforms, including LinkedIn, which people kind of forget sometimes, which is pretty cool because there's a lot of big names out there that are looking for buyers and sellers on Instagram. We're going to do it on LinkedIn because that's where the professionals play. And we're going to do open houses as often as you want. I like to do them every weekend. I do know that you guys are still living in the house, so I want to make sure that we are respectful of your time. So as often as you want to, especially because we're doing that virtual, we're just going to relaunch that virtual wage often to keep building more and more momentum. Make sense?
Yeah, so far so good.
At any point I'm going too fast, let me know. We'll retouch something and slow down and go back over it. The open house strategy, kind of going to throw this out the window right now. We're going to do something a little bit more digital, and I'll work through that with you on the Matterport, as well as the 3D photography that we're going to use and the Facebook Lives. That's just going to give us some more activity. And typically we're going to get more people to touch and talk to than we would if we had a traditional open house. Everything is in the details. Everything I do is built around finding a buyer for your home. I'm not the agent that puts a sign in the ground and you never hear from me again. I go knock doors in the neighborhood. I go make sure that I have the best looking photography. I make sure your pictures are outstanding. And if you need a little touch up, we do some touch up. I make sure that your listing is amplified and shared everywhere. And I do everything possible to drive as much traction and attention to your listing as possible, short of putting a giant spotlight on it with a Batman signal. When you hire me as an agent, you're not just hiring me. You're hiring Keller Williams of Southern Arizona. Along with that, you're hiring my coaching team. You're hiring my resource network. You're hiring my vendors and other team agents to give you hundreds of years of experience combined thousands of hours of activity finding buyers for your home, as well as a very advanced network of marketing, title, inspection, and every other contractor service you can think of, because it really is all about getting your home sold. If you guys have good numbers, put them up there. If not, put up the Market Center. Go and do the Market Center statistics. You guys can pull that from TAR, and you can see our proofs in the numbers. Yeah, we sell houses on average 18% higher than the median sales price. We sell them 15% faster, and we sell them for almost 5% better than they do on the list of sales price. Meaning that you're making the right decision when you're hiring a Keller Williams agent. And the rest of it is just the credentials and awards. And then this is just the one page from Keller Williams. So that's kind of it. You can kind of see why I said you want to send this to them beforehand, right?
Yeah.
So the listing presentation, you'll have your CMA in here. This is where all your houses that you've sold before, some of the featured ones you've sold before. Again, you can change all of these, cut them all out, have reviews in there. So your name sold my condo in 30 minutes, a promise is a good thing to send, to serve the community as a leader in real estate industry, as a friend and neighbor. Always do the right thing while representing home. Bottom line is just a note from our, sign your name, and then fill it out for you. This is like your promise letter that you're sending to your clients. And last but not least, how you get in touch. Kind of a highline overview. It wasn't it's not something you can really role play as much as you need to download, update, go through it yourself and know how to present. Where it's going to come in is the initial getting the appointment, and then having the appointment set up to a point where you can send them that marketing material. You can send them all that we're going to do, and they can review it. You can get to the house and just have the paperwork ready and then walk them around. Like Laura said, they already knew that they were going to use them. So they didn't have to do much of a listing presentation. You don't have to do much of a listing presentation when you are the listing presentation. When you embody everything that you're going to do, it's a lot easier for you, right? Do you feel like you can compete with the big team?
With the right attitude?
With the right attitude. I love that.
Hey, Big Dan, on the last thing, one of the last pages you said that where you can find a Keller Williams agent, rather than saying any Keller Williams agent, that's why hiring me as your Keller Williams agent is going to be best for you, applying that they're already going to hire you.
Yep. Did you notice how I said when you hire me? When you hire, not if, yeah. When you hire me. So it's all in your word track, guys. There's a lot of assumptive closing in that. A ton of assumptive closing. I'm going to negotiate the deal for you when we get a contract, when we go under contract, when we go live, not when you, I used we, because this is an us thing, right? Notice to how I talk about every situation, guys. I talk we, us, our, not me, mine. I don't. It's a team effort. When we list your house, Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, we talk in we. When you tell them when we sell your house, it's when you as the client and me as the agent sell your house. How many times did I say, don't worry?
A lot.
Don't worry, I got this. I will take care of everything. I will coordinate everything. I will walk you through the process. It's super important for your clients to know that you've got their back. I'm not just going to put a sign in the yard and disappear. If you take care of that objection up front, you're going to have a lot better on and later. You're not going to get that, well, he just put a sign in the yard and never talked to me again. No. I'm not just an agent that puts a sign in the yard and then forgets about you. I'm going to do everything I can to find a buyer for your house. I actively lead gen every day to find buyers for your house. That right there will win you bids over other teams because they forget to say that. We market on all social media: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, Vine. Well, not Vine. Vine's dead. What's it? TikTok. We do them all. Thousands of impressions. Any questions? I really think you guys should spend the work to download those, customize your own so you have them. You're going to feel more confident because you've gone through and you've done some reading of the material and knowing how it's set up. But you got to be prepared. You got to have the CMA so you know what the market in their neighborhood is. You got to know the stats on the neighborhood and that you pull that up from MLS. Do you guys know how to pull that up?
I think I found them.
Well, I think sounds like we need to go look.
I'm pretty sure I did find the right area.
It's time to share the screen. All right. All right. All right. It's not working. Interesting. That is very interesting. Cancel. Share screen. There we go. All right. So you log into your TAR, your MLS gateway, right?
Yes.
At the top where it says market stats. Sorry, I clicked on it too fast. It's right here. You can drill down everything. All right, so let's do this. So, okay, we're looking for the entire MLS. Nope, let's do 85741. That's my zip code, right? Did it change the number? So right now we can see average sales price, $212,000. Days on market, 9. Damn, right? Currently, there's 616 listings in that area, which is down for 1 month. It's down 5 listings. So you can see this is your time. So January 2017, 2018, 2019, this year, there's been a lot, but there's been some very volatile. We're down there, 616 listings. How many months supply? You guys could talk about that when you're talking scarcity in this neighborhood, as it doesn't want to work.
Is there a way to get all this to print out too? Because I've only been able to figure out how to print out like each little piece of it.
Like you mean print everything at once?
Yeah, so the percent of the purchase price, how many days on market?
You have to go through each one
You do.
because it's pulling the information into that. So you can see right now, you can tell people that we're less than we're right at 1 month supply. When this time last year, we were at a month and a half. Right now, currently there's 52 houses for sale. When earlier this year, there's 57. The median.
Can't you pull all at once if you do it through the like the, was it the fast stats or the fast stats
Fast stats.
at the top? Because then you can select an area.
I don't use this one, so let's go find out.
Because that should pull like a whole sheet. What zip code were you looking at?
4-1. So it does the key metrics, but it doesn't do the graphs.
Yeah. There's 2 graphs on it, but
I mean, that's a great info to bring to for a listing pack. You just throw it in there.
yeah.
You know which neighborhood. Or go and do, where we at? Where's your listing at, Nicole? Nicole, you're muted, my friend.
I'm muted. I'm sorry. It's in Rita Ranch. Do you know the
What's your zip
zip code
code?
for that area? Okay.
85622, right?
85747.
85747. 857. Where's the 47? So right here?
Yeah.
Bam. So there you go. You can see 78 new listings in April, 64 pending sales, which is 23% change down, and 20% up, which is usually a good metric on each. And you can tell them 45 closed sales. What I like to see is the median sale price, 225, percent to list. That means how much of the initial sales price did they get when they closed? 99%. So those agents out there asking for 3% off the sale price plus closing costs are ridiculous, right? Month supply 1.4, 72 homes on for sale currently. So you're competing with 72 sales. Oh, sorry, that was 2019.
Yeah, so
2020, so way less numbers. Now they're getting 0.5% better in sales price. Look at that.
okay.
So I like that year-over-year change. Inventory at the same time is almost half. Year-to-date change and stuff like that, you can see. This is the big one that people really like to see. Percent to list price. Awesome. Thank you for that, Renee. Fast stats.
Yeah, it's way
Definitely
faster.
useful. I'll send that over to them.
Yeah, so fast stats. So MLS, market stats, fast stats. I don't know what this is. Eight, 5, 7, 4, 3. Because that's where my dad lives and he wants to sell his house. Bam. 309,000, 98. It went down. People getting greedy. Awesome. You guys seem tired today. Did last month beat you up?
I think it's just all the crazy going on in the world.
How do you feel about that?
Scary.
It's scary. Like, it's sad to know that that's happening right now.
I understand that.
Like, at some point, like, I was looking at a couple of things, like when they first said they were rioting in Tucson, and then, like, you can only look at so much of it. It's just kind of, like, sickening.
And the poor small business owners that are struggling anyway from all this, and now you go and hurt them that much more.
Yeah, I know that bothers me the most, I think, about it, is that they have nothing to do with it. And it's like they struggled so much to get through COVID and everything when we were on lockdown. They finally just get open, and then, like, a couple of places are already having to, like, close again because they can't, their businesses are destroyed. They have to rebuild them back up, and some of them probably don't even have money to do that.
Understand.
It sucks.
So be compassionate, be caring.
Mm.
Support local small businesses and stuff like that. I'm with you too. It's it's very bothersome for me.
Yeah.
But for the majority of things is the only way we get better is just deciding to treat people better. All right, 13 more minutes. What do you got? Or we can shut her down.
So Big Dan, I have to tell you, my buyers wanted to look at this house that was over their budget. It was listed at 274. And you had to call the owner to make an appointment so she could take her dogs out. So on the phone, I made friends with her and she liked me right away. And she, like, told me her life story. Then I went and showed the buyers this house, and of course they really loved it, but they don't have the money. So then I talked with the agent, and you know, told them what their highest and best was, which was 265. And I was like, you know, it's never going to work. And so she said no, that her bottom was 269. But then this morning she called me and she was like in tears. And she said her heart hurt and she didn't want to miss this opportunity and she'll take 265.
There you go.
That's good.
Making friends is a good thing.
Crazy.
I have a quick question on coming soon. So I think I put it in right, but it's not coming up in the MLS under coming soon. So I don't know what I did wrong. Has anybody done one yet?
What's the address?
34 West Calle Tierra Sandia, Sandia.
Tierra Sandia. Oh, you're showing there. When did you put it in?
Yesterday.
Oh no, it's not popping up closed.
Right. So I don't, like, I can change the listing. It's in there. It has an MLS, but it's just not popping up as coming soon. So I don't.
Yeah, call down them. They might have. It might just not be pushing through properly.
Okay, and I sent over the signed coming soon agreement too. So.
Perfect. Now is everything uploaded in Dotloop and sent over to the brokers? I'd imagine.
Yes, sir.
You're awesome.
Except for the MLS thing, because I can't find it.
Awesome. Well, let me know what you find out on that from the MLS, because on my side I'm not showing anything. But then again, broker view doesn't have a whole lot.
Okay.
It's the MLS. We're at their disclosure, their beck and call. I don't see anything else in here I can see. So.
Okay.
Cool. Let's rock and roll on that one. Hope, I'm sorry about your situation. But all I've got for you is the. You want to talk about it openly?
We can. I mean,
all right.
I
Hope
still
had a deal that's closing on Friday last week, but things got pushed through and everything was kind of in place. And as of this morning, the buyers have already signed their paperwork, want to cancel.
Can they do that if they've already signed?
you can try.
They can
Yeah.
try. So right now, the only advice you can give, Hope, because what it is, you do have a cancellation form, which is great. You already told the title company to hold escrow or to hold the earnest money because your clients are going to decide what they want to do and seek
Legal counsel.
legal counsel. Now, do you feel like they don't want to seek legal counsel and they're just going to take the earnest money?
In their heart of hearts, I think they will.
Okay.
And I was asking the title company on what to do because it was hinging on the solar. So let that be maybe a live and learn for all of us. You know, I tried to be out ahead of it with the solar lease conveying. And this morning, they got the assurance that it went through. They didn't necessarily get the UCC confirmation, but they did get it that they were in the process of working that out. That's why they upped the earnest money to the full amount, Dan, from $1,500 to the $3,000, because they knew they were kind of in the wrong on that. They had no, in other words, they didn't have a legal standing because that had been satisfied. My clients will be frustrated. But what good does it do maybe to what are my choices? Could I let the earnest money stay in there? They could refuse to cancel and think about it a couple days. Could that help our cause to just force them to close? They've already said their intent that they want to cancel.
Yeah, I don't think you can force them, and that's why they need to talk. That's why we can't advise them on what to do. That's why they need to seek legal counsel. And if they want to seek legal counsel and find out their whole scope of things, or they just want to just let the deal go and accept the $3,000 as money, time lost.
I'm just asking you if it would help our cause to let it sit in there for a couple days until they come to their senses. But probably, it sounds like the buyer made their decision. They found something else. The agent didn't necessarily have to tell me that, but that just seems it's a little dirty.
Well, that's the problem with our contract. It allows them to do this and just get away with a small fee. That's why earnest money is important. If you guys feel like you got a deal that's going to be sketchy, this is why earnest money is there, because it keeps our clients right, because they're definitely they're getting harmed right now.
Yeah.
I would talk to your clients, let them know what to do, have communication with them. Is up to them. If they want to accept the money, fine. If they want to go talk to an attorney and find out the full scope of what they're allowed to, then they can. I'm not saying that they're going to get more, or that if a judge is going to force them into,
Well, the only go ahead.
I mean, they've already signed for everything, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. Both parties have already signed, and I was pushing closing back to Friday at the latest. And they got confirmation that they conveyed the solar.
Yeah.
Pretty rotten.
It's very rotten. Call Nancy and just chat with her again, because she already knows the situation.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's very rotten, because title won't push through the recording if they've opted to cancel, which is kind of shitty that they've already signed too. So. Right.
And I suppose it wouldn't look good if my client sent an email and said they want $5,000, for example. They would need something legal behind that. Well, we want this much amount of money, to close it, because you pulled us off the market for 2 months.
You could,
maybe
they can definitely ask that. So.
Say that again.
They can definitely ask that.
Yeah.
Or if they want to, send over an addendum that says buyer and seller mutually agree to cancel the contract. Buyer shall deposit an additional $2,000 in earnest money. Earnest money shall be forfeited to the seller.
Okay.
Something like that. You can do that. But like I said, call Nancy and get her buy-in. But talk to your sellers have to give the right. We can't tell them what to do. We can advise them. If they want to seek legal counsel to pull the full spectrum of things, let's advise.
Okay. Well, this is hopefully a learning experience all the way around, and maybe for other agents on this call that, you can get all the way up to the finish line, and, they have a weekend to look around, and the wife looks around and the husband lets her, So I don't know.
Also had all kinds of repair issues on.
There are repairs to it. So from the very beginning, I think it was more the husband's idea, like, oh, I can fix it,
Oh no, did your seller pay for repairs?
No, not yet.
Okay.
No, they didn't pay for any repairs. There was an issue of termite, and they remedied it.
So they paid for the termite inspection.
Yeah.
Or they paid for a termite treatment. So they need to, you can put that in there as damages too. Like I said, they need to talk to somebody. If they don't feel satisfied with the $3,000, they need to talk to somebody. There's more options out there.
Yeah, there's also the conveyance of $250 from the HOA, which is non-refundable. I mean, I didn't know that. This house has been under contract. Here's another good one. This is the second contract it's been under where it went sideways. And the HOA charges $250 each time that it conveys. And whether it goes through or not, that's going to be assessed to my client every time. So if we pull it off the market, put it back on, that's going to be a third time that $250 is assessed. I call the HOA and just find out if that sounds right, because that doesn't seem fair. Life isn't fair, is it?
Nope, if that's their fee, that's their fee. But yeah, guys, I got to get the one thing out there is talk to your clients, let them know that this is what's going to happen, and ask their feedback and ask for what they want to do. And if they say, I don't know, say, you need to call a real estate attorney, talk to them, get your full scope of opportunities there. Jason, who's the lady that the dude you called that we know? I think we lost Jason. But wait. Didn't you
I don't
guys
have the name in front of me, but I can get that for you.
put it in the group chat?
Yeah, I don't have it right now in front of me though. I
That's
can
okay.
get that.
Yeah, put it in the group chat when you get it.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome, guys. What else you got for me? Nothing?
I just have a question, or I guess I want some guidance on what you think. So these buyers that showed up at the open house yesterday, they actually are already pre-approved for a loan. They're definitely not working with a realtor. Yesterday was the first day they had looked. They've been homeowners before, so like to do a buyer consultation, and they don't know if they're going to sell their house or not. They might keep their other house too.
Okay.
And I'm just wondering how should I approach it when I call them again?
Just set up a meeting for coffee and sit down and go over everything.
Okay.
I've bought many houses before. I've never had a buyer consultation. It would have been helpful.
Okay.
I found the number. It's Mark Valentine 520-498-0088.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. So Renee, what I would do is I would definitely still set up meeting number one, like set them down, have a meeting, go over everything, get them to sign a buyer broker, and talk through what could be, advantageous to selling.
Yeah, I didn't want to be too pushy with them since like they already know the process, and the fact that actually both buyers that I have are pre-approved, which is I feel like unheard of at an open house.
That's a good thing. You want to save them time and serve them better.
Yeah.
And sit them down and have a conversation.
Okay.
Because there's no sense in finding a house that they're going to hate.
Mm-hmm.
So, good points. Awesome, guys. Well, I got to jump on to the next one. So thank you so much for being part of my family, being awesome. Happy June. Get your 411s done.
Okay.
Looking at you, Laura.
I downloaded it. It's halfway there. Thanks, Dan.
I turned my computer on. I'm halfway to work. Awesome. Send them to me when you got them, please.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.